realestate.com.au, Australia's #1 address in property. With more properties for sale than anywhere else, we make it easier.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at this week's auctions. There are 1,921 auctions scheduled to take place across the country. That's up 1% when compared to the same week last year. New South Wales will hold 759 auctions, with 635 of them in Sydney. Victoria will hold 734 auctions, with most of them in Melbourne. Queensland will host 246 auctions, with 126 of them in regional areas. South Australia will hold 103 auctions, most of them are in Adelaide. Western Australia, Tasmania and the Northern Territory will hold 9 auctions between them, and the ACT will host 70 auctions. Take a look at the most viewed properties going to auction this week. New South Wales, top property, 12A Wellington Street, Rosebery. This 2-bedroom home's asking price is $1 million. Then Victoria, it's 25 Faulkner Street, South Yarra. This trendy 4-bedder, 3-bathroom home has a pool and multiple living spaces. Asking price $5.5 to $6 million. Queensland, the top property is 70 Stanmere Street, Carindale. This 4-bedder has 3 bathrooms and a pool, and it backs onto the Pacific Golf Course. South Australia, the top property is 22 Alpha Road, Prospect. This 4-bedder was built in the 1930s, and it looks like some parts of it haven't been updated since. And the top property in Western Australia is 39 Nolan Way, Bateman. This 4-bedder has a swimming pool and lots of outdoor entertaining areas. And the most viewed property on the REA Group website this week is a huge mansion at 249 Harts Road in Indooroopilly in Queensland. It's being billed as Brisbane's premier trophy home, nestled on the Indooroopilly Golf Course. You might notice from the photos that these are artists' impressions. The house isn't actually built yet. Completion date is expected to be December this year. But once it's built, it will have 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms and space for 6 cars. The interior floor plan is a palatial 1,130 square metres. The block itself is 1,200 square metres. Home also has a wine cellar, outdoor barbecue, 18-metre swimming pool and indoor gym. Price range for this one, $15 to $18 million. For more on the auction market, I caught up with Anne Flaherty from REA Group a little bit earlier.
Yeah, look, we have seen the number of auctions pick up from April. However, it is actually still a little bit below where we were seeing over the same time last year. I think, though, what we are seeing is a bit more confidence. Property prices have increased for 5 consecutive months now, and I think this is helping sellers to be a little bit more confident to bring their properties to market.
Yeah, and clearance rates. How are clearance rates holding up right now?
Look, clearance rates are holding up really well. We did see them pick up over the first part of the year, and over the last month we've consistently seen higher clearance rates. So if we look back at last year, in the second half they were hovering around 50%. They're now very close to 70% pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned property prices up 5 months in a row. Just how strongly have prices been increasing since the start of this year?
Look, the price increases have been picking up bit by bit. At the start of the year, we thought, it's a bit of a slight increase. Is this a trend? Is it not? Now that we're 5 months in, actually what we're seeing is that the magnitude of those price rises are picking up each month. And that's probably going to continue once interest rates especially reach their peak.
I know you guys at REA Group have done a bit of analysis looking at some suburbs around Australia where home prices have doubled. Is there anywhere in particular that stands out to you as doubling in value?
Well, it's actually incredibly remarkable, the fact that we've had 12 interest rate rises, and there are some suburbs around the country that have actually seen prices double in less than 2 years. A lot of these areas are in the outer suburbs of Greater Sydney. And one of the reasons there is population growth, people looking for more affordable regions. That's driven up the number of people out there looking to buy and pushed up prices. We're also continuing to see it in those sort of scenic lifestyle areas, such as the Mornington Peninsula in Melbourne. We've seen it as well in certain areas of outer Greater Brisbane and also in the Wide Bay area of Queensland.
And just in general, do you expect prices are going to keep rising this year? You mentioned interest rates have gone up 12 times. It's not really having an impact on confidence in the property sector at all, is it?
Well, the question is, if we do see in a year's time also interest rates start to come down, what was that going to do to prices? The fact that prices have been so resilient in the face of interest rate rises is quite remarkable. But I think it's important to remember as well that not everyone is equally impacted by interest rate rises. So there are a cohort of buyers out there, around half of people actually who own a home, they don't have a mortgage. So they're not necessarily as impacted if they, are going to sell and buy a new property.
Okay, and moving on to the rental market, is demand for rentals surging at the moment?
Well, one of our sites, flatmates.com.au, actually saw just shy of 70,000 new members sign up over May. That's double the number that signed up in May 12 months ago, and it's the highest number on record. And this points to the fact that a lot of people have been priced out of the rental market, or they're just really struggling to find somewhere to rent. What's also interesting is with so many more people joining the share house market, what we're seeing is actually a change in the demographic there. So 45-plus-year-olds are actually the fastest growing demographic looking to house share.
Yeah, and where are some of the most sought after locations across the country for people to rent homes at the moment?
Well, the most sought after locations are typically inner city areas. And what we're seeing, unfortunately, is the areas where there's the most new members looking to find a room are actually often the areas where there are no rooms available. So inner city Sydney, Cremorne in Melbourne are two examples where we're just not seeing available rooms come online, but we're seeing very high numbers of new members seeking properties there.
And how long do you think it's going to take before it dies down a bit, the demand for rentals? Is it just going to be until more properties are built? Is that really the solution?
I don't see how this can die down at the moment. The development pipeline has slowed. It's extremely expensive and complicated to build right now.
Well, Anne Flaherty from REA Group, thanks so much for your time today.
My pleasure.